So I was looking at a post on Facebook the other day, and there was a PSD student. He didn't get a CDL yet, and he was like, "Man, my trainer got me fired." And I was all like, "I'm gonna have to investigate this one." I was like, "I'm gonna have to look into this Facebook post right here. This one caught my eye. I'm gonna look into it." So I jump into it, and I start reading some of the comments, and this guy, I was trying to get to the bottom of it. So I was going through it, and I was reading people's comments. They're all like, "Look at his profile picture. No wonder he got let go." So I was all like, let me look at his profile picture. How bad could it be? I was expecting, maybe he was just not dressed well. Maybe he looked homeless. I was thinking to myself, I was like, he's coming here for a better life. It can't be that bad. So I pop up his profile picture, and, he's shooting the bird, and I'm all like, he looks young. I'm all like, he probably got into it with his trainer is what I'm thinking. And I was like, I'm going to go through these comments some more. Also, don't forget on Thursdays. On Thursday, we do the lives over here, on this channel at 7 o'clock Central Time. We do start early because we want to, sometimes we get together and we're all like, "Man, let's just go ahead and get this live started." So if you're early, then sometimes we'll pop on that live early and we'll start it up. And that's like us just kind of chilling out before the 7 o'clock live. We just talk about whatever. The 7 o'clock live, once it turns 7 o'clock, it's time to answer questions that people may have. So different stuff you may have about training, about TNT, about getting your CDL, hiring freezes. We try to have as much information we can. And if we don't know the answer to the question, we look into it. Now back to this guy. Going through the comments more, and I finally get down to the bottom of it, right? Somebody asked them the question finally, and it was a comment that I was kind of thinking to myself. They said, "Were you late? Were you late a lot? What's going on? Why would they just let you go?" And he's all like, "I was late one time and they sent me home." Right there, I was like, no, it wasn't one time. I'll tell you right now, in his opinion, because everybody has their own opinion, I'll tell you right now, in his opinion, he was late one time. Probably the truth of the matter is that it was his second or third time being late, and his trainer was sick of it. His trainer probably told him one time, or two times maybe, because it's like this, man. You come in late on my truck, I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to say something, because to me, I think the line of communication starts here with us. So I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to be like, "Hey, man, what are you doing late? Can't be late. Don't do it again." I'm going to kind of hear your story too. What's your story? "Oh, man, I couldn't catch the shuttle." That's not an excuse. Shuttle is not the excuse. If you're supposed to be there at 8 a.m., you better get there at 7 a.m. The only time I allow the shuttle to be an excuse is the very first shuttle leaving the plaza over there at 6 a.m. because sometimes it doesn't leave till 6:10, 6:20. I understand that. I'm not requiring my students to be there like Uber over. I'm like, "Hey, man, I understand the shuttle's going to be late." It always is. Sometimes it comes early, though. It's weird. But, we kind of talk about it. I'm all like, "Hey, you're late. Don't do that again." And then I go ahead and send a message to my fleet manager and say, "Hey, look, this is the first time he was late. I'll keep you posted." We start that chain of command, because if you're always late, how are you going to make some deliveries on time? So you don't want to start that reputation of always being late. So the second time you come in late, I'm like, "Really, dog? Really? You got to be late again, bro?" I'm going to send another message, and I'm going to be like, "Hey, this dude's late again." Sometimes that second message is time for a set down, especially if it's 2 days in a row. It's time for a set down. Like there's going to be some communication right there between you and somebody, and they're going to decide how bad you really want this. They're going to tell you how bad do you want this. They're going to sit right across from you, and that man's the guy that can send you home. It's not that you're getting fired, because technically you don't even have a job at this point. So they're going to set you down and they're going to talk to you. They're going to be like, hey, bro, you really want to be here? You think it's okay to come in whenever you want? You think that these loads don't have times on them and you can just take them in whenever you want? You know, we got appointment times here. You're representing the company. We're not going to sit here and play around with this. We're grown. We're grown folks, first off, so we can get to work on time. You know, it's a trucking company, and they tell you the first day that being on time is late. So that tells you right there, do not even come in on time. Come in way before on time. Like, come in an hour early to everything. So, you know, it happens. I've almost had one guy sent home, and I didn't even know it. It was really his first time being late. But this guy had a problem with his first trainer, man. His first trainer kind of wasn't, I guess, up front like me. Like, I'll tell you straight up, like, what's going on. Like, hey, man, I got this problem with you. I got this problem with you. I'm blunt. I'll tell you straight up. People don't like that. But it is what it is. I want to be truthful with you. So his first trainer takes him, they're going on their first load, and he just takes them over to the campus, and he's all like, hey, man, grab your stuff and get out, man. Or actually, he goes, I'm going to drop this trailer. I'm going to go over to the campus and get some paperwork. So the guy was like, okay. So they go to the campus, get to the front door, and he's all like, hey, man, grab your stuff, go get you a room. And he's all like, just to get some paperwork? And he goes, nah, man, we're going to stay the night here. And he was like, what? So he's all like, man, like, he started getting his stuff out the truck, and he said, man, are you kicking me off your truck? And the guy was all like, yeah, I can't do that. We're not working out. So he got instantly mad because the dude wasn't upfront about it. So he cussed him out. So this dude already had like a kind of, they wanted to send him home at that point, but they didn't. When they gave me him, they said, hey, go talk to this student. And like, I was his last chance. They said, go talk to this student. If you find out, if you got any bad feelings about this guy, come back in. Went out there, I talked to him. I was like, man, I chopped it up with him. I was like, he's pretty good. Like, he's all right. I could tell that he might have a little bit of a temper, but I was like, yeah, we're going to get along. I go back in there, and I'm all like, yeah, I'll take him. You know, there's nothing wrong. Are you sure there's nothing wrong? And then they have a talk with him, and right there I find out, hey, something happened, because they're all like, you just need to keep your temper down and blah, blah, blah. You know, I was like, oh, man. So, you know, we went and ran freight. He was 2 hours late to the pad the first time we got back to the pad. He was 2 hours late to the pad. And I hit up the fleet manager. I said, hey, this guy's 2 hours late. I get a phone call, real fast phone call. And it's from the training department. And they're all like, hey, we're going to send this guy home. I'm like, no. Whoa. I said, this dude has a baby on the way, man. Come on. Like, give me some time. They said, you know what? We'll give you till tomorrow. He tests out one time. He tests out tomorrow one time, and we're going to send him home if he fails. I was like, oh, my gosh. So when he came in, I sat down, we talked. I was like, look, dude, this is what's going on, man. We got to get you to pass tomorrow. I told him everything. I was up front with him. I think I get better results whenever I'm up front with people. I said, hey, look, we got today to learn all these maneuvers, and because you're testing tomorrow, they put you on the list. And this was a long time ago when you didn't have to wait the 48 hours. So we went out there. He worked hard. He listened. You know, he had a good attitude about it. Like, he was all like, man, I got to get this. I got a baby on the way. Like, you know, so we worked hard on it. I got him on the test the next day, you know, put him out there to test. And I was like, please don't get nervous. I was like, please don't get nervous, because they are serious about sending this guy home tomorrow. This is his one opportunity. And he came back in trifecta. And I was like, whew. I said, man, that was scary. Yeah, that was scary because, you know, we got to know each other. He had a baby on the way. But back to this guy that got fired. The only thing I could put as a comment on the Facebook post is I was all like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put what I feel like. So I put a little post on there that said, you can't get fired if you don't have a job. That's all I could say. Can't get fired if you don't have a job. So whenever he goes to his next adventure, he doesn't have to put down, hey, I was fired from Prime. No, you never were hired from Prime, you know? Keep your head up. So hopefully the guy, he keeps on going with his, you know, want to be a truck driver, and hopefully he follows his passion of getting his CDL. Like, Prime just did not work out for him. So don't give up. If you're watching this video, guy, don't give up. Go to the next company. Find you what works for you, brother. But like, comment, and subscribe. Be here Thursday nights for those lives. Those lives are kind of fun. Like, they're getting fun to me. Like, make sure you watch them on the playback too. Leave some comments. Tell me what you think.